in the heart of a sun-drenched African village, where the golden savanna stretched endlessly and the air hummed with the songs of cicadas, Amina and Kwame had just moved into their quaint new home. A modest yet beautiful hut adorned with hand-woven mats and intricate wooden carvings. A gift from Kwame's father, symbolizing the union of two souls destined to be together. The couple, glowing with happiness, spent their days arranging furniture, preparing meals together, and dreaming of a future filled with laughter, children, and prosperity. Yet little did they know that the tranquility of their domestic bliss was about to be shattered by a shadow from Kwame's past. His mother, Nana Ifua, a woman known throughout the village for her cunning, sharp tongue, and an unyielding desire to control every aspect of her son's life, had decided to pay an unexpected visit, bringing with her a whirlwind of tension that would soon unravel the carefully woven tapestry of love and peace that Amina and Kwame had created. As Nana Ifua's arrival was marked not by warmth or welcome, but by subtle jabs and veiled criticisms, questioning Amina's cooking, her choice of decor, and even the way she greeted Kwame, making it clear from the first hour that her presence was not a gift but a test, one that would challenge the newlyweds' patience, resilience, and understanding of family boundaries. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the dusty path leading to their door, Amina realized that the fairy tale she had envisioned might not survive the storm that had just entered their home. A storm disguised as love, concern, and familial duty, yet beneath the anxiety, a spark of determination ignited within her, a quiet but fierce resolve to protect her marriage, to navigate the treacherous waters of in-law politics, and to find a way to turn this invasion into an opportunity for strength, unity, and an unexpected revelation about the power of forgiveness, empathy, and the unbreakable bond between a husband and wife who refuse to let outside forces dictate the course of their love. As the morning sun spilled through the thatched roof, casting warm patterns on the earthen floor, the tension in Amina and Kwame's home had already begun to thicken like the heavy midday heat. For Nana Ifua, dressed in her vibrant kente cloth that seemed to demand attention wherever she went, wasted no time asserting her presence, immediately critiquing Amina's choice of breakfast, insisting that the porridge was too thin, the eggs overcooked, and even the way the firewood was stacked was deemed improper, her sharp voice echoing through the small hut as Kwame stood silently by, torn between the comforting familiarity of his mother and the love and respect he felt for his new wife, while Amina, cheeks flushed with frustration yet calm on the surface, quietly reminded herself to respond with patience, her mind racing through strategies to preserve peace without compromising her dignity. The morning escalated into a battle of subtle words and unspoken power struggles, as Nana Ifua maneuvered around the home, moving objects slightly out of place to provoke reactions, questioning Amina's decisions about the bedroom arrangement, the laundry, and even the flowers on the windowsill, while Kwame, attempting to mediate, found himself trapped in the invisible web of loyalty and marital duty, witnessing his mother's sly manipulations, yet hesitating to confront her directly. Outside, the village buzzed with life, children laughing, women carrying baskets of fruit, and elders gossiping in hushed tones about the inevitable clash between mother-in-law, unaware that this particular tension would unfold in ways more dramatic and emotionally charged than anyone could predict, and as noon approached, the air inside the hut became almost unbearable, with Nana Ifua's penetrating gaze following every action, her subtle smirks testing Amina's resolve. Yet amidst the frustration, Amina discovered a hidden strength within herself, a quiet courage to stand firm, to speak with clarity, to negotiate boundaries without malice, understanding that this was not merely a test of patience, but an initiation into the complex dance of family dynamics, love, and respect, a lesson in human psychology wrapped in the guise of domestic conflict. And as the sun set over the savannah, painting the sky in fiery hues, Amina realized that surviving this day would require more than tact. It would demand creativity, empathy, and the wisdom to turn confrontation into connection, forging not just a truce, but a deeper understanding of the intricate balance between love for one's spouse and the obligations of blood ties, a lesson that would shape the course of their marriage in ways that neither joy nor sorrow alone could have ever taught. As the days passed, the newlyweds' home, once a sanctuary of laughter and warmth, began to feel like a delicate battlefield where every glance, every word, carried hidden meanings for Nana Ifu. With her keen eyes and subtle manipulations, seemed to uncover and amplify even the smallest imperfections, making Amina second-guess her every action while Kwame, caught in the crossfire of filial loyalty and marital love, struggled to maintain balance, sensing the mounting tension and the silent war brewing beneath the surface. Late one evening, as the orange glow of dusk filtered through the open windows, Nana Afua revealed a secret from Kwame's childhood, a story she had kept hidden for years, about a distant relative whose fortunes had been lost due to a misjudgment in the family, suggesting with a pointed smile that history could repeat itself if the household was not carefully managed, her words dripping with insinuation, testing both Amina's patience and Kwame's resolve. While outside, the night chorus of crickets and frogs seemed to echo the unease within, amplifying the couple's growing anxiety, and Amina, determined not to let fear or doubt dominate, spent long hours reflecting on strategies to protect her marriage, meditating on the delicate balance between respect for elders and the right to assert one's boundaries, realizing that Nana Ifua's tactics were not only rooted in control but also in a profound fear of losing influence over her son, a fear that mirrored Amina's own desire to preserve love and harmony. The house became a stage for unspoken confrontations, where a misplacement of a utensil or a differently folded cloth could spark quiet accusations. And yet, amidst the simmering tension, moments of unexpected clarity arose, revealing Nana Ifua's vulnerabilities and motivations, allowing Amina to perceive not only the challenge but also the opportunity for empathy, for building bridges where walls threatened to rise. And as the moon climbed high above the savannah, bathing the home in silvery light, Amina and Kwame held hands, silently vowing to face whatever storms came their way together, realizing that the trials of this week were not merely tests of endurance, but lessons in love, trust, and the courage to confront the shadows of the past, learning that in the intricate dance of family, understanding the motives behind actions was as important as defending one's own heart, and that true resilience lay not in avoiding conflict, but in navigating it with wisdom, patience, and unwavering commitment to one another. In the midst of escalating tensions within the cozy walls of the newlyweds' home, Amina discovered an unexpected ally in the most unlikely person, Quame's younger cousin, Kofi, a cheerful, observant young man who often visited the village and had witnessed Nana Efua's controlling tendencies for years. Recognizing immediately that the atmosphere inside the home was suffocating the young couple's love and freedom, one afternoon, as the golden sun poured through the lattice windows, Kofi arrived bearing gifts of fresh fruit and traditional woven baskets. His arrival seemingly casual yet purposeful, as he subtly began to lighten the mood, engaging Nana Ifua in conversations about the village, farming strategies, and local gossip, gently redirecting her sharp criticisms away from Amina, while Amina, cautious yet grateful, watched as this clever intervention provided brief respite from the daily storms of judgment and manipulation, realizing that sometimes support came from understanding allies who saw beyond appearances and acted with both wisdom and tact. And as the day wore on, the house filled with laughter for the first time in weeks, a fragile but essential reminder that even in the most oppressive environments, relief could emerge through human connection, empathy, and courage. As Kofi's presence reminded both Amina and Kwame that they were not alone in navigating the intricate dynamics of family obligations and emotional battles, and that the challenges they faced were not necessarily insurmountable if approached with patience, creativity, and a willingness to accept help when offered. Nana Ifua, though initially wary of this newcomer's interference, found herself reluctantly amused by his stories and clever deflections, her stern demeanor softening at times, hinting at the possibility that confrontation did not always have to lead to resentment, and that even the most controlling individuals could be influenced through subtle guidance, empathy, and strategic conversation, revealing layers of personality that were hidden beneath her harsh exterior, while Amina quietly reflected on the lessons of humility, patience, and the strength that came from recognizing the value of allies, understanding that the journey of love and family harmony was rarely linear, often filled with unexpected twists, yet the key to resilience lay in adaptability, the courage to stand firm in one's convictions, and the wisdom to use the resources and relationships available to foster peace. And as dusk descended, painting the African sky in deep shades of purple and gold, the couple felt a renewed sense of hope, a fragile but tangible feeling that perhaps, with the right balance of tact, empathy, and resolve, they could weather even the stormiest of family conflicts without losing the warmth, trust, and intimacy. Despite the temporary relief brought by Kofi's intervention, the atmosphere in Amina and Quame's home soon shifted once again as Nana Ifua, determined to assert her authority and test the limits of her son's loyalty, began orchestrating a series of subtle provocations that would push the couple's patience to its breaking point. From rearranging the furniture in ways that disrupted the household's rhythm to questioning Amina's decisions about finances, cooking, and the rituals of daily life, all delivered with a smile that barely concealed her calculating intent. Kwame, torn between the comfort of familiarity with his mother and his commitment to protect the sanctity of his marriage, found himself increasingly anxious, walking a tightrope of diplomacy that left him exhausted and frustrated, while Amina, whose inner strength had grown with each challenge, realized that passive endurance was no longer enough, and that she needed to confront the tension with courage, clarity, and strategy rather than quiet submission. Recognizing that the stakes were higher than simple disagreements, they were tests of loyalty, respect, and the boundaries necessary to maintain a healthy partnership. And as the day unfolded, the small hut echoed with subtle arguments, nervous laughter masking irritation, and whispered conversations held behind closed doors, while outside, the African sun beat down relentlessly on the golden savanna, mirroring the intensity building within the home. And even Kofi, usually a calming presence, admitted to Amina that this escalation was unlike anything he had anticipated, suggesting that perhaps Nana Efua's motives were rooted not merely in control, but in fear, insecurity, and an unwillingness to relinquish her role as the dominant figure in her son's life. And as the tension mounted, Amina began to plan a courageous confrontation, one that would require tact, empathy, and unwavering resolve, aiming to transform the storm of manipulation into an opportunity for understanding, compromise, and the reestablishment of respect. Realizing that the success of her marriage depended not on avoiding conflict, but on navigating it skillfully, protecting both her dignity and the love she shared with Kwame. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the hut and the surrounding savanna, a sense of impending revelation hung in the air, signaling that the coming days would determine whether love, patience, and strategic courage could prevail over manipulation, control, and the lingering shadows of unresolved familial power struggles, and that the outcome would forever shape the foundation of their shared life, teaching lessons of resilience, empathy, and the complex dance between marital unity and extended family obligations. The tension that had been simmering for weeks finally reached its peak one sweltering afternoon when Amina, determined to protect her marriage and assert her dignity, decided that silence could no longer be her ally, and with measured steps she approached Nana Efua, who was seated in her usual commanding spot, a faint smirk on her face, as if anticipating a reaction. Amina's voice, calm yet firm, carried through the hut as she addressed the subtle manipulations, veiled criticisms, and emotional strain that had been imposed upon her and Kwame, articulating not only her feelings but also the boundaries necessary for a healthy household. While Kwame, initially hesitant, watched in awe as his wife spoke with a combination of courage, clarity, and respect, realizing that this confrontation was a turning point, a test not just of marital resilience, but also of familial dynamics and the power of honest communication. And as Nana Efua's expression shifted from smug satisfaction to surprise, then contemplation, the air in the hut seemed to change, heavy with the weight of unspoken truths and long-held resentments finally acknowledged. And in that moment, Amina skillfully balanced assertiveness with empathy, recognizing the deep-rooted fears and insecurities driving Nana Efua's behavior, choosing words that addressed the issues without diminishing the elder's dignity. While outside, the African sky blazed with fiery hues of sunset, mirroring the intensity and drama unfolding within. And as the conversation continued, what began as confrontation gradually transformed into dialogue, revealing hidden emotions, shared memories, and the realization that control and resentment had been masking love and concern all along. And by the time the first stars appeared above the savannah, a fragile truce had been established, with Nana Ifua nodding slowly, acknowledging both her own faults and Amina's courage, while Kwame, feeling a deep sense of relief and admiration, embraced the strength and wisdom of his wife, understanding that this confrontation, though tense and challenging, had created an opportunity for mutual respect, understanding, and a renewed commitment to family unity. And as night fell and the sounds of nocturnal creatures filled the air, Amina and Kwame stood together, feeling a profound sense of accomplishment, realizing that love, courage, and honest communication were more powerful than manipulation, and that even the stormiest of relationships could be weathered when approached with patience, empathy, and the determination to protect the sanctity of one's home and marriage. In the days following the intense confrontation, the atmosphere within Amina and Kwame's home began to shift subtly yet profoundly as Nana Ifua, having witnessed Amina's courage, patience, and ability to address conflict with respect, started to soften, her sharp edges giving way to moments of warmth and tentative humor. And the couple, cautiously optimistic, began to notice small gestures of goodwill, from Nana Ifua offering to help with chores, to her sharing stories of Kwame's childhood that had never before been revealed, imbuing the house with a sense of connection and history that bridged the gap between past and present. Kwame, now fully appreciating his wife's strength and the careful diplomacy she had employed, felt a renewed sense of partnership, understanding that the health of their marriage was intertwined not only with their love for each other, but also with the skillful navigation of extended family relationships. And Amina Wise, from weeks of patience and observation, continued to balance assertiveness with empathy, gently guiding conversations and household decisions, while allowing Nana Ifua space to contribute and feel valued, creating an environment where respect and cooperation gradually replaced tension and silent resentment. And outside, the African savannah seemed to reflect this harmony, the warm sun casting golden hues across the land as children played, animals grazed peacefully, and the village buzzed with quiet life, a mirror of the reconciliation unfolding within the walls of the hut, while conversations that once bristled with subtle accusations now carried laughter, stories, and shared meals that reminded everyone that family, no matter how challenging, could be a source of strength, love, and unity when approached with patience, understanding, and the courage to forgive. By the time the evening shadows stretched across the village, Nana Ifua had begun to recognize the value of compromise, the importance of boundaries, and the profound impact of allowing her son and daughter-in-law to cultivate their own space for love and growth. And as Amina and Kwame shared a quiet moment together, hand in hand, looking at the gentle smile on Nana Ifua's face, they realized that the storm had passed not through avoidance or surrender, but through honest dialogue, mutual respect, and the willingness to see each other's humanity. And in that realization, a deep sense of peace settled over the household, one that promised a future where love, resilience, and understanding would guide their journey together, transforming past tensions into lessons of wisdom, empathy, and enduring family harmony. With the storm of conflict behind them, Amina and Kwame's home transformed into a sanctuary of love, laughter, and understanding, where every corner seemed to hum with the newfound harmony that had been painstakingly cultivated through patience, courage, and honest dialogue. Nana Afua, once the relentless force of tension, now moved through the home with a quiet pride, offering guidance when asked, but allowing the couple the space to make decisions for themselves. Her previous controlling tendencies softened into mentorship, as she recognized the strength and wisdom of her daughter-in-law, and the bond between mother and daughter-in-law, though once fraught with subtle manipulations and unspoken power struggles, had blossomed into a partnership built on mutual respect and trust. While Kwame, his heart full of gratitude and admiration, marveled at the resilience and courage that Amina had displayed, realizing that the trials they endured had not weakened their marriage, but fortified it, creating a foundation of love capable of withstanding future storms. As the golden African sun bathed the savannah in a warm glow, the couple, joined by Nana Ifua and a few close relatives, celebrated with a modest feast of traditional dishes. Laughter echoing across the landscape, drums beating gently in the background, and children dancing barefoot on the earth. The air thick with the aroma of spices and the sweet scent of freshly harvested fruit, symbolizing not only the joy of familial unity, but also the triumph of understanding, empathy, and resilience over conflict and fear. And as they shared stories, memories, and gentle teasing, Amina reflected on the journey from anxiety and confrontation to reconciliation and harmony, realizing that love was not merely an emotion but a deliberate practice, a series of choices to communicate, forgive, and nurture relationships even in the face of adversity, while Kwame silently vowed to protect this delicate balance, honoring both his mother and his wife, ensuring that their home remained a place of safety, warmth, and shared happiness. And as night fell, the African sky, ablaze with stars, mirrored the brilliance of their renewed bond, a testament to the power of courage, patience, and unwavering commitment, reminding everyone present that even the most challenging family conflicts could end not in resentment but in celebration, connection, and the enduring beauty of love nurtured through understanding and respect.